Hey everybody, welcome to Abundant Source Raw on YouTube. And it's a little late right now. I was actually just laying down, but I was thinking about a few things and I really got the urge to get up and make this video. And I really want to talk about how to really find accurate information and how to know whether, you should listen to what somebody has to say, and, how to find mentors who really know what they're talking about, because there's so much information that you can find out there, and so many books to read, so many people to listen to. So how do you find somebody who's actually worth listening to, that actually knows what they're talking about? It's very difficult. I mean, it's an ocean of people and information, and it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But I think what it really comes down to is simplicity. Genius lies in simplicity, and a genius can take something complicated and make it simple, but somebody who doesn't really know what they're talking about will take something simple and complicate it. Everything profound in life is simple, and if you find yourself listening to somebody or reading something and coming out of it more confused, or like there are maybe some holes or some things that just don't quite fit, then chances are um, that person may not have really known exactly what they were talking about, or they may just not have had all the pieces to the puzzle. But I found all the people that I really enjoy listening to just make everything so simple and make me just feel like, wow, this makes so much sense. It's just like so obvious, the way that people can take something that society has completely complicated and made a mess of, and just simplify it in a way that just makes ridiculous amounts of sense. And one of my favorite people to listen to, who just makes everything so simple, is Dr. Robert Morse, who talks a lot about the lymphatic system, and he's just amazing. And if you've probably heard of him. If you haven't, then you really need to go check out his videos. He's got tons of free videos on YouTube, and I just love listening to him. He simplifies everything and makes you feel like you actually know what to do after watching his videos, and you're not thinking, okay, well, some of what he said makes sense, but there's some pieces that didn't really fit. Like, I didn't really understand this, and this didn't really connect very well with this other thing he was saying. None of that. Um, Anyone who's worth listening to is just gonna be very straightforward, in my opinion, and just give it to you so simply that it would be so obvious. And if you ever feel like you came out of listening to somebody and it just either was more complicated or just didn't seem like everything was put together very well, then you may want to find some other source of information. Science and medicine have really complicated things, and all science really is best guess. I mean, we make improvements, here and there, and it's always improving, but it's always just been best guess. There's not really any real hard evidence to any science. I mean, life is an illusion, and we can only perceive what our mind and our senses are capable of perceiving. So, I mean, as humans going through this human experience, we can't even perceive reality for what it is, so there's not really any way to understand everything and put it into a logical scientific puzzle for everybody. And a lot of people try to convince you with saying, well, this is logical, but I mean, what is logic? Logic is always changing. I mean, what was logic 100 years ago is not logical now, and what's logical now won't be logical in 100 years. So, a lot of people try to boast about the logic and what they're doing, but it's still just best guess. And I mean, the real logic lies in the most simplest form of anything. When you break it down, when you break anything down to its simplest form, then that's what's going to be most logical. The most logical thing in life is, to me, is nature. Universal laws that don't change. If you want to learn how to improve your life and learn what we should be doing as a species and how we should be eating, then you should always look to nature. That is what's most logical and has the most, profound knowledge and wisdom out of anything. I mean, you'll never get as much profound wisdom from textbooks or anybody with a PhD as you would from just going out in nature and observing how nature works and what the laws of the universe and nature are. So I am extremely cautious about what I'm reading and who I'm listening to and what I'm putting in my head, because I really don't want a lot of nonsense filling up in my head. And I know probably 95 to 99% of everything that I hear or read is complete ridiculousness. And I really just don't want to waste time putting information into my head that's going to take up space and energy and thought process when I know it's just not really necessary. And so, after learning and learning and learning and listening to different people and hearing, reading different things and just finding out how simple life is, I mean, you start to realize what to look for and who's really telling the truth. Are these people really, have they experienced what they're talking about? And I mean, does it really make sense? Is what they're saying complicated and confusing and telling you to go through all these different procedures and things like that? Um, you just get good at kind of weeding out the people that just maybe don't know what they're talking about so much, and just finding the people that just have the most profound, simple truths to tell that just makes so much sense and really speak to your core. And you'll probably be able to know it when you hear these people talk, because it like resonates with you so much. It has to be truthful. I mean, every living organism on the planet is all connected, and we're all, vibrating at different frequencies. And when we hear truth, I mean, it resonates inside of us. We know, for the most part, unless, our senses are completely messed up, which most people are, so actually, maybe you won't know, but, if you've got a clean body and, a clean catalyst, a clean antenna for receiving, then it's usually pretty easy to pick up truth when you hear it. And on your journey to find different teachers and mentors, then usually you'll come across other people who have maybe more knowledge and experience, who take you to a higher level. And it's like you just find people that always bring you to a higher level and a higher level. And I think ultimately, you're going to be your best mentor and your best teacher. Your experiences and digging deep inside of yourself, working on yourself, that's going to be the best mentor. Looking to nature, nature is the best mentor. All these things are just going to be, are going to give you the most profound wisdom. Sitting with yourself, meditating, just receiving the wisdom from the ultimate source, all consciousness. You'll find out more truth about life just sitting with yourself silently for a couple hours than you would from reading 10 different books in 1 month. So just go with what's simple, go with what resonates with you, and always check in with yourself and make sure everything that you're hearing makes complete sense to you, and you'll just start to grow and grow more. And you'll be able to really uh, weed out the kind of mediocre knowledge from the really profound wisdom, and it'll just get easier and easier, and you'll just get higher and higher, and you'll just get to a point where you're so confident and you just have the most profound, simple truths that will carry you to great health and connectivity with all of life. So I think that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I'll talk with you guys in the next one. See ya.